In today's video, we are going to be talking all about Chandler and Gilbert. I'm going to be going through a series of questions comparing which is better, Chandler or Gilbert, when it comes to schools, shopping, parks, diversity, and more. So stick around, we're going to get after it right now. Before we get started, don't forget, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button and tap that little bell so you get notified every time a new video comes out. And now let's get into it. Here is our first question comparing Chandler versus Gilbert. Which city is more diverse? In this case, it would be Chandler. Because we have Price Corridor with all of those tech jobs, we have Intel, we bring a lot of people from all over the country and the world to Chandler for employment. So you're going to find more diversity in Chandler than in Gilbert, where there really is less employment and more residential areas. Also in Chandler, you're going to find more Asian supermarkets, more Asian dining. So if that's a priority for you, you're going to want to think about moving to Chandler. Chandler wins on this one. Which city has better shopping? Well, in Chandler, we have the Chandler Fashion Center Mall, and it has all of your favorite stores, department stores, some nice restaurants, and a really cool courtyard. And then in West Chandler, you have some really great shopping plazas, and you have the only IKEA in the valley. And then also on that side of Chandler, you have the Phoenix Premium Outlets. So if you like doing the outlet mall scene, that's a great place to go. Now, over in Gilbert, you have the Santan Village Shopping District, and they have all of your favorite department stores as well. Not a mall, it's all outdoor shopping, and it's kind of a cute setting. So that's a really fun place to go to in Gilbert. Both of the downtowns in Chandler and Gilbert will have a similar feel as far as shopping goes. And Gilbert does have a Costco as well. Overall though, if you ask somebody where are you going to find the best shopping, you're probably going to hear Chandler. Which city has more of that Midwestern charm? While both cities have some really charming neighborhoods, Gilbert is probably the one that you're going to want to look at if this is important to you. They are better known for their grassy yards, tree-lined streets, even some neighborhoods that have the white picket fences that go all around the neighborhood. Chandler, on the other hand, is a little bit older, and some of the neighborhoods do tend to be a little bit more cookie cutter with lots of browns and tans, whereas in Gilbert, it's a little bit newer and there's a little bit more variety with the colors and the styles of the homes. So in this category, I will have to give the win to Gilbert. Which city is the most convenient to live in? Now, obviously this will depend on where you work, but generally we're gonna say Chandler. Because Chandler is further west, it is closer to those freeways, the 101 and the 202. It's even closer to I-10. It's closer to Central Phoenix. So if you are someone who works in Phoenix, if you like to go up to North Scottsdale, if you like to go to Cardinals games, you're just going to have a shorter drive if you live in Chandler. Gilbert is obviously just east of Chandler, so it's not going to make a real big difference depending on what part of Gilbert you live in. In case if you live in part of Gilbert that's close to the freeway versus part of Chandler that is far south, maybe the Gilbert would be a little bit closer of a drive because you can just hop on that freeway. So there's always going to be that variance depending on what part of the city you live in. But generally, Chandler is going to be more convenient for you to get wherever it is you want to go. Gilbert also tends to have a little bit of a younger crowd for their downtown nightlife. Chandler maybe is a little bit older, but both have a lot of activity. They're both bustling, especially on the weekends, and there's plenty of things to do down there. So which one has the better downtown, Chandler or Gilbert? I'm going to call it a tie. It really depends on what you like to do. Both of them are so similar that you can't really go wrong if you're going to go downtown to either Chandler or Gilbert. Which city has better schools, Chandler or Gilbert? Before I answer that question, let's talk a little bit about your choices. So you have your private schools, your public schools, and then your charter schools, which are technically public schools. So while with private schools, you're going to be paying that extra tuition, with charter schools, it will be tuition free, even though in some ways it resembles a private education. Two of the big charter schools here are Great Hearts Academies, which are a little bit more liberal arts based. And then there are also basis schools, which are a little bit more STEM based. Both of those schools are throughout the valley, not just in Chandler and Gilbert. But let's look at some of the rankings that niche.com gave specifically for schools in Arizona. So for the best school district and the best school district specifically for athletes, Chandler came in at number 1. Gilbert, on the other hand, came in at number 8 and number 12. As far as diversity goes, Chandler came in at 22 on their list. Gilbert came in at 85. So whenever you talk to someone about which city has better schools, typically you're going to hear Chandler, but I wouldn't let that scare you away from Gilbert because there are some really great options there too. I have to give a special shout out to a couple of the schools in Chandler and Gilbert that are particularly high performing. So we have Valley Christian High School in Chandler. That one was ranked the number 1 Christian school in all of Arizona. And then there's also Hamilton High School in Chandler, which is always on the top of the list for both athletics and academics. And then over in Gilbert, you have Gilbert Classical Academy for grades 5 through 12. That was ranked number 2 in the state by the Arizona Department of Education. So there you have it for schools. Chandler's going to win this one. And let's move on to the next question. Which city has better parks? So in Chandler, we have Tumbleweed Park. Really, I've only been there for their 4th of July festivities. And other than that, I don't go to Tumbleweed too much. Now, Tumbleweed is getting a huge new outdoor pickleball facility. So that's when I'll start going to Tumbleweed Park. We also have Desert Breeze Park in West Chandler. It's a great place if you have little kids because it has a splash pad, playground, and a train that you can take all throughout the park. Of course, we have lots of other parks in Chandler all throughout. But in Gilbert, the park that really impresses me is Gilbert Regional. And not only do they have a lot of amenities now, but they also are going to be getting an enormous water park in 2024. It's going to have huge water slides, wave pools, all sorts of things that the kids can do in the hot summer. And they also have Cosmos Dog Park. If you have a furry friend who likes to swim, this is where you're going to want to take him because they have this big pond that they've made specifically for the dogs to play in. It even has like a little dock. The dogs can run off the dock and jump in the water. So as far as parks go, we are going to give the win to Gilbert. In which city will I get the best bang for my buck when buying a house? So Chandler is a little bit older than Gilbert is. So overall, we're going to have more older homes than Gilbert. So which is more cost effective? If you move to Chandler, it's possible to get in a new build, but you might be buying a resale home. That home may be remodeled or it may need significant work. In Gilbert, you will find some older communities, but you're also going to find a lot of newer communities and new construction over there. But because Gilbert is further out away from Phoenix, in general, the prices are going to be better in Gilbert than in Chandler. But there's always that trade-off. You know, you have to weigh what your priorities are. Are you willing to fix up a house? Do you want something that's brand new? But overall, if I'm saying where are you going to get the best bang for your buck, probably because of the location, it's going to be Gilbert. So which is better, Chandler or Gilbert? It all comes down to your priorities. Is it location, school district? Is it more a quieter pace of life, maybe a newer home? For me personally, I live in Chandler and I wouldn't want to move away, but maybe your priorities are different. Whatever your priorities are, I would love to help you out. So go ahead and give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I would love to connect with you and help you find your next home in sunny Arizona. Until next time, I will catch you later.